Hi, in this video I'll explain what is hacking and why learn it. We'll go into its complete details like its types, white hat, black hat and gray hat hacking, and then which one makes what kind of money and what are the things that keeps white hat hacking separate from the other two. So let's get started by first understanding what is hacking. If you think a computer hacker is a sweaty nerd sitting in his mom's basement, then you are completely wrong, because according to Eric Raymond, a computer hacker is someone who is passionate about computers and works with other hackers to forward computer innovation. But indeed there are a lot of different dimensions to hacking. Some people also refer hacking as gaining unauthorized access to systems. But let's assume that we are talking here about gaining unauthorized access whenever we refer to as hacking. Okay, so hacking is the process of gaining unauthorized access to systems, getting information of people, listening to the people, getting their pictures, stealing money from their bank account, or using their own identity, and much more. Now there are three main types of hackers. White hat hackers, or I call them the good guys. Gray hat hackers, or I call them the guys who knows how to make fun. And there is the bad guys, the black hat hackers. So let's go through each one separately and understand what they do and how they make money and how much they make money. Black hat hackers, the bad guys. These are the people who want to hack systems for their illegal goals. That would be either hacking people's bank accounts and stealing money, or hacking into big company and stealing information, taking down websites, and much more. So let's also discuss what kind of money they make by watching this video.
An ACH payment is basically, if I were to pay, let's say I was going to buy a car from Mr. Jeremiah, I would be transferring money from my checking account directly into his. Before you set up a major transfer, your financial institution is going to transfer something very small, maybe a couple pennies, maybe a couple bucks, simply to verify we've got everything lined up. Once they verify reception of that fundage, they'll move through with a larger transfer. Now, what we're about to discuss is potentially legal, may potentially actually be allowed under the terms of service. How many of you guys do PayPal? How many of you guys have multiple PayPal IDs? Okay, and that's fair, right? That's legal? It's allowed in the terms of service? Well, imagine using that one mechanism to make a lot of money. We're talking to the effect of setting up, 80,000 of those accounts. Set up a simple script. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is when we started off with Arsnake firing up a tool, a hacker tool, local proxy, to make some money, we're going to go back and make things so much simpler to where you're only using a browser at some point. Now, this particular attack, we have an individual, Michael Largent, that used a simple script to create thousands and thousands and thousands of online bank accounts. He did this with Schwab, E-Trade, and others. And he was doing the Superman hack. He would set up an ACH transfer and just verify it. He wouldn't go for the full transfer, but he was basically opening accounts, transferring money into a centralized account that he owns, and then moving that money out of the account and forwarding it on to himself. Doesn't sound that bad. It's very small money. Ringing any bells from the office space world? Now, one of the things that's very, very interesting is it wasn't inherently illegal what he was doing by accumulating all of these very small monetary amounts. But it added up very, very quickly. Google checkout, he made about $8 grand. 50 grand elsewhere, and then he would take that and either pay off credit cards or forward money to himself. When the bank called, after detecting all of these accounts by this one man and asking him, "Why are you doing this? Do you realize you're stealing money?" "Oh, I don't understand. I don't know that I'm doing anything illegal." This is also a great way to forge new relationships with people like the Secret Service that follow you around and like to learn things about you. It's really interesting, all the information they gleaned on this man. When you read the affidavit, and all the links are going to be in the slide deck, one of the things that the Secret Service guy that wrote up the affidavit came back and states, "I could never figure out if the guy was married, but here's all this other information on him." Now, here's the really funny part about this. It wasn't inherently illegal. He got busted on the Patriot Act. He was stealing money. Patriot Act. Why is that? Shout it out. Anybody know why? Anybody in financial services? Yes! He was using names from comic books and cartoons. They busted him for false names. Who in this crowd is not using a real name with their email address? Be very careful, it might not be legal. Now, the rest of this is, he only got busted for 4 counts of computer fraud, wire fraud, and mail fraud. It was the Secret Service. The actual act of communicating the money was perfectly valid had he used real accounts. I don't know. Legal? Not legal? Ethical? Not ethical? For the most part, it was allowed by the terms of service of the website. Maybe it was a feature.
All right, so I get to, I travel around, I get a lot, I get to...
The purpose of showing you this video is not to encourage you to become a black hat hacker, but I'm just showing you what black hat hacker is and how they make money and what kind of money they make. So as we know from this explanation that black hat hackers are the bad guys and they go into systems and hack them for their illegal activities, and they can get into troubles from doing these activities, and what they do is illegal. So that's why we don't want to get into black hat hacking, but we need to understand what they are up to so that we can stop them. That's where the white hat hacking comes in. White hat hackers are the good guys. These are the good guys who first take permissions and then hack the system. It can either be a software, a company, database, or anything else, and then once they find the loopholes, then they will tell the system administrator or the owner of the system that this is the loophole in your system and this is the way how to fix it. These people are often hired by the companies to protect their system, and they have very interesting pays. So you can make whatever the black hat hacker makes by doing the good job, and you will also get appreciated for that, and you will also not get into trouble for doing something. So the question is, why the white hat hackers don't cross the line? Someone asked this question from former NSA hacker David Kennedy, and he replied, quote, that the one thing that keeps me ethical at my job and all the time is that I can do my job and still go to my home, meet my wife and kids, and hang out with them. If I turn to the black side, or if I get darker, so of course in the near future at some point I see myself in jail. End quote. I wish I could show you the video where David Kennedy says this, but due to YouTube rubbish copyright laws I cannot. So indeed the thing that keeps white hat hacker away from crossing the line is the fear of getting into jail and leaving everything behind for what they have worked so hard. So then we have the third type of hackers, which is gray hat hackers, the guy who really knows how to have fun. These are the type of hackers that will hack system whether they have permission or they don't have permissions. But the only thing that keeps them apart from black hat hacker is that they won't harm the system. Also, they don't steal money, but they often do it for fun or for making their name. But still what they do is illegal and they can be thrown into jail for doing so. Now that we know a little bit about hacking, let's understand why learn it. So you should learn hacking because it is an existing industry, or we can say that it's an emerging industry that has a lot of job opportunities for ethical hackers. Those are willing to make system more secure, but by searching loopholes in the system and then removing these loopholes from the system. There are a huge amount of people needed in the field. Nowadays, people or companies are looking for the ethical hackers. Even companies are willing to hire those people as well who are just curious about hacking. It's because of the increase in amount of hacking attacks on daily basis. Companies like Uber and Kareem gets hacked, and data of millions and millions of people are at risk. So the companies like Facebook, Google, Uber, Airbnb hire these ethical hackers in order to find vulnerabilities in their system and correct them before the bad guys find them. So hopefully that answered both of our questions, that what is hacking and why learn it. So that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you are learning something from the information we have provided. Also, if you are new to this channel is all about programming, ethical hacking. In this first course, we are going over complete ethical hacking from scratch. So in the first few sections, we'll learn about pre-built tools like Wireshark, EvilDroid, etc. And later on, we'll create our own application for ethical hacking using Python programming language. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are interested. Catch you next time. Peace.